Greetings, it is I, Herbert, the destroyer of superglue heaven, Erpaderp. Can Herbert really schwim? Well, a little bit. But the Schwimmwagen certainly can, even in this state. Look at how schwimmy it is. Probably not really that schwimmy, I guess. But it's getting there. Today, it looks like I need to press buttons first, and then I'm going to start with the... I'm pretty sure it is the... yeah, it is the interior, the gauges and dashboard and whatnot. At the moment, the Schwimmwagen looks like a silly vehicle you would drive in 7 Days to Die. I mean... fair? I'd drive it. There, that's better. That looks like it's going to almost drop right into place. And I'm considering putting that on before any fiddly details, because there's quite a few little easily broken looking bits that will go on the outer hull, and I don't want to break them, believe it or not. I need D&C spurs. I also need Snippy Boys. Why can't you be easy to clip from both sides, you shit? First bit I clip off falls onto the fucking floor. How annoying. I guess that's an attempted carpet monster attack. Didn't get to keep it. You can't get the parts from the sprue by the power of your will? I sure can't. That's not what I want. I want this. And the pedals are on the D sprue. The D stands for pedals. And they're all separate pedals, though they look the same. One is slightly longer. Otherwise, they do look identical. Oh, I thought I lost that one. I don't really want to have the box sitting on my keyboard. kind of annoying. Will Herbert mix the pedals up? Stay tuned to find out. I will, on purpose. Just to make some driving nerd angry.
That's not the accelerator, Herbert. It goes on the other side.
Probably don't really need to worry about anything but the top of the pedals. I can't quite tell if there's any difference between the brake and clutch pedals. Quite sure if you want to mix up the pedals on purpose, you'll glue them on the right way. I might. Trying to make it wrong, but accidentally doing it right. That's the Herbert Erpaderp way. Sliced a bit too much there. That's one of the most horrible crimes you can do. Slicing too much plastic. That looks neat enough. Except maybe there at the... Is that the bottom? Probably. It goes like that. Yes, that'll do nicely. Probably. I think I read somewhere you all have been having a massive heat wave. I mean, it's always a heat wave here. Hasn't been that bad lately, but it's been alternating between really hot and really rainy. So we've been having a lot of flooding, which is wonderful. And by wonderful, I mean kind of annoying. I don't follow any rules. Also, the rumblings on the other side of the world. I don't know. We don't have any rumblings. try to see if all of these pedals... You see, I want to do such a wonderful job with the pedals that I want to make sure that the two that look to be the same are the same. I think it's going to be easier to get the pedal in there before this thing. So that's what I'm going to do. And let's hope this camera is all set up and not going to be annoying. Whoa, lol, lol. And that makes it any different or better. But I can get my hand in there now. Got a month before your trip to New Orleans. That's a long time. But I'm sure it will pass quickly. Hope the trip is awesome. Pretty sure that's in focus. Perhaps easy amazed Herbert does some model impulse buying? I did that the other day. Maybe it was a couple of weeks ago now. I don't know how to keep track of time. I bought that weird German tank. I've forgotten what it's called now. A lot of Hugenhausen Zug words. A bucket list item? Then it's important. I want to see pictures. Let's try to get this pedal in. And one seems to be a bit longer. Yeah, I don't think that matters much. Can I get that in without nudging the other one? No. Not at all. Where are my tweezers? Gonna do some tweezing. A multi-turret tank. New Fahrzeug. Is it a multi-turret tank? I don't remember. I think it's got small turrets at the front, maybe. Yeah, it does. I can sort of see the box. Museums sometimes frown on that. Tell them to get fucked. Tell them an angry bearded man said you have to take pictures. It looks very slightly tilted. I've been meaning to go to the museum in Brisbane to see the A7V, but I'm very lazy, and getting there is slightly annoying. Why can't you just not be on an angle? I'm going to call that good enough. Very pedal. A 10-hour drive. That is a significant drive. I hope you don't plan on doing the 10 hours in a row, like without a break. It looks like it has enough glue, but you never know. There we go. That is part of step 7. The entire page is step 7. Good enough. I have to stop for gas and food, but otherwise, yeah. That doesn't seem like a great idea. But stopping, at least for food and stuff, is a break, so I guess it counts. Sea spur. $950 kilometers sounds like a lot. That's almost a drive to Sydney from here. This thing with the gauges looks pretty gaugey. I can't remember if the decal sheet in this kit came with gauges. It does. They're probably going to be a bit fiddly to get into place. That's for future Herbert to worry about. Sucks to be that guy. We need D snuts. This tiny little duva. Looks like a handle for holding on while someone does reckless driving. $47. I don't think I snipped too much off of that. It's fine. A 12-hour drive to see your aunt used to do every summer. That's a long time. That's a long time to be sitting in a car. A little bit of slicing. Get rid of the plastic that I don't want. Take that, you cheeky shit. Probably don't use a Game Boy while you're actually driving, though. I mean, you could still probably get a Game Boy. I wouldn't recommend you get one and drive with it, is all. Probably go for a more modern system. And still don't drive with it, really. I can't pick this fucking thing up. My skin is not oily. Therefore, I have to lick my finger. Yes. Be gone. I didn't want the part to be gone. I was about to say nubbin. And I think the nubbin is gone. A true detective podcast. Hopefully that's not the sort of thing that will let you nod off to sleep. Excuse me. Pretty sure this is the steering column. I was going to say shaft because that's a funnier word, but I guess column is more correct. Dang it. That looks appropriate. I haven't snipped off a bit I need. Am I missing anything? No way. Herbert would never miss anything. And we'd like to be correct on this channel. i.e., that's why we use correct terms like tank bot. Gotta use the proper terms, otherwise... Well, I don't know what happens. We always use the proper terms. Gotta make sure I'm doing this the right way. You see, I would have thought it went up that way. That's because I'm stupid. Got that, we haven't lost that. I'm always paranoid about sweeping away bits of parts that I need now. It only happened once, but that's enough. Have some glue. That ought to stay there. That ought to hold the little SOB. That looks like it's what they want. And then we shove the shaft through the little hole. Hey, do I prefer Tamiya or AFV Club? I haven't built very much AFV Club stuff, but I do like Tamiya. I think they're both good. Is that not gonna go through that hole? That would be awfully rude.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said that. That looks reasonable. Have some glue. And we don't add the steering wheel yet because I guess it probably gets in the way. Very triumphant sounding music for my victory over the tiny bits of plastic. Very front of car control-y thingy. Okay. Next we need some more bits off the C-sprue. Didn't actually check the numbers to see if these are the parts I want. They look like the parts I want. And how could I possibly be wrong? You're the Napoleon of plastic parts gluing. I'm not that short. You're the modern day Caesar. Just watch out for that Barnaby fellow. Yes, I will. I'm pretty sure he's up to no good. Oh, there it is. I did take it out of the box. Gonna need this bit as well. I don't know if those are going to be in the way. It does look as though they may be. Should work okay. Should being the key word. Don't see any other areas that really need trimming. Do appreciate a nice, neat part. Clean these bits up as well. Should is more than okay. Remember Columbus? He said that should be India. Sure did. We all make our mistakes. Get rid of those little nubbins before I think they're apart and glue them on. It seems all we have to do now is stick these in. Not sure if, though I think actually maybe yes, this should be done after installing the dashboard thing. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Are there any crew figures included you find by not putting them together? There were no crew figures with this kit, I think. If there were crew figures, they've become invisible. And not because I've made them go missing. I did properly clean up both of these. Didn't I? Yeah, probably. Don't worry about it. Invisible crew figures, the ones Herbert likes the most. Yeah, I guess. Not that I actually like them, but, you know, better that I can't see them. It says Das Werk on the inside of the thingy. hard to tell if I'm actually getting it in the right position because there's that little bit over top of it. Just needs a tiny bit of holding. Just to let it know that I care. Probably doesn't really need extra glue, but it's getting it. It's not correct. Go behind the part. I'm hoping that's a correct fit. It looks okay. If it's not, boy howdy, I sure will be a little bit annoyed. Don't know if that little gap there is really meant to be there, but it is there. No fitting parts make Herbie angry. It's true. You won't like me when I'm angry. Let's see if there's any issues plopping this into place. I feel like it might not come back off if I do this. Let's see if there's any reason I shouldn't do that. It's a bubble car. Bubble car. Okay. It looks like all that they want added is small breakable bits, so I think I will connect these two parts. With less risk of breaking the small fiddly bits, sometimes I use my noggin. Not often, though. The problem is it should go like that to fit the back, but like that to fit at the front. Hmm. It's offering resistance, which I would prefer that it didn't do. This is kind of annoying. I can't quite see what's stopping it from going together all the way. Not a fan of the crunching sounds it's making. Okay, that looks good, but then it doesn't go down on the other side. The question is, if I force it down and glue it into place, say there, can I also get rid of the gaps at the front? That's very annoying. Are you scary when you're angry? Saying odd things like, I like super glue? I wouldn't say that. That's a terrible thing to say. If Herbert ever says that, sincerely, I will be calling the Aussie equivalent of 911. That's right, we don't use 911 here. We use 000 because it's way easier. Unlike the British, which with their... Oh man, I wish I could remember the number from the IT crowd. Probably not a reference a lot of people get. It would be funnier if I knew the number, but it ends in 3. Also, maybe I'm not... Maybe it's not been a bad thing that I haven't been able to get the upper hole part on, because it looks like the light that goes in there should be added from the inside. Do I know what 811 here is in the States? I have no idea. Is it a non-emergency number? That didn't make a good sound. I wonder if there's something I could trim back to make it fit better. Probably along here. In Germany, 911 is the number of a legendary model of a Porsche. Well, I mean, that's the number everywhere, isn't it? Or do they change the number of the car for other countries? Why can't you stay like that? As soon as I put it over there, it flops over. It starts turning its pages automatically. You call 811 before you dig. They'll come out and locate the utilities. That makes sense. I think there's... Well, obviously there will be a number for that here. But it's probably more digits than 3. Now what am I looking for? D. The D. By which I mean Tenacious D. Which I get to miss out on seeing in July. Because they sold out as soon as I knew they were available. Ass. 411 is traffic info. It seems weird to have a number to call for traffic info in, like, 2024. If I look at the side with the numbers, I'll find the number I'm looking for. Where does the part end and the sprue begin? Gotta remember, we still let people over 80 drive here. Probably shouldn't. We let them drive here too. I feel like there should be testing for everybody, really. Once you get your license, nobody cares. You do what you want once you've got your license, but especially when you get old, there should be, like, more testing. My favorite example is my mum, when I drive with her, will yell at me for not using the road properly when I'm going through a particular T junction, which has the main road curves through the T junction and is signed such that, you know, and the lines on the road indicate that. But she gets mad that I don't stop and indicate every time. Because, you know, paying attention to signs and lines on the road is too difficult when you're old. This is difficult to hold in the way that I want it to hold it. I don't think the rear is going to be visible, but I'm getting rid of the big nubbins anyway. Hey, Deathlight Coast, how you doing? Can't tell if I've left too much on this or not enough. It's also difficult to hold on to. It seems like it's going to fit together. We're home from playing some Warhammer 40k. Were you victorious over your perilous foe? This is probably going to be fine. I couldn't possibly mess it up. Called it a tie. Well, I guess that's fair. That way everybody wins. Or everybody loses, depending on your perspective of things. Hopefully, that's a good fit, and that it fits in the mount for it. It's going to be a bit perilous to try and do that while that's not totally bonded, though. That's probably straight enough. Nobody's going to notice a slightly lopsided thing. Tau and Aeldari. I don't know what Aeldari are. Maybe I should, but I don't. Let's sit and let that bond for a moment while I further ponder this and why it doesn't seem to want to fit properly. It's almost certainly these bits. If I cut these down, it will be visible from the inside, most likely. And that's annoying. Just assume everyone plays Space Marines. I mean, it's probably not a wholly incorrect assumption. That's probably had enough time to bond. Just gotta slide it into this duva. Tweezers. That's the way. I thought it would be a bit more recessed than that. That's as far as it goes in. And that's still loose enough to be moved. I hope the glue is working on it. Have a Space Marine army soon enough. That seems reasonable. Sometimes I think I'd like to get into Warhammer again, but then I realize I've already got too many things to spend too much money on. Can we drop this in without knocking the lamp part out of place? Also, is it going to fit? Is a good question. I feel like it should sit more against the front of the thing. And the mount for the light is protruding too far forward. Can't tell if that is correct or not. Never afford Warhammer growing up. I was barely aware of Warhammer growing up, but I wouldn't have been able to afford it either. That looks like it is how it should be, but I'm gonna just give it a bit of a snip. In the hopes of making it fit better. And it does fit better. Look at that. That would have been much harder to install from the outside. As in, impossible to install from the outside. So I saved myself from making a mistake. It's a first for everything. And now, the problem is getting the parts together. And where I can make changes so that they fit together. It doesn't seem like the bottom of the side parts will be too visible, so I could clip those down a small bit. See if that helps any. I have my doubts, but that's what I'm gonna do. Didn't get into Titawuga. That's how we read that. So you're in college, you bought a used Flames of War army. First foray into it. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people have, you know, they get into it and then they get stuff for multiple games. Let's just see if that helps on that side. Would be nice if things were just easy. I can see those are... That's getting in the way. It's being shifted. I don't think that's my main problem, though. For fuck's sake. If anything, it's going to get worse. I did just lose that little side bit. I didn't see where it went. That's kind of obnoxious. And there goes the other one. Jesus. No, that's the first one. Huh? So I don't know that clipping those side bits has changed anything. I don't want to apply pressure to the wheels because that will break them right off. First Ed ended in 2006. I don't remember. I must have got into wargaming 2010. But I didn't really realize Flames of War was a thing probably till like 2012 or something. 2011. This is so annoying. It really should just plop right together. I guess they really wanted me to das Werk for it. Ha 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 ha. It's really hard to see what is holding like this bit up. But I'm very glad that I didn't put any of the delicate bits on yet, because they would have all been broken off. War Machine. Is that the one that also had hordes? I think I had a bunch of... I still probably do have a bunch of models for that. Okay, that seems to have gone in. When I press down from the top. But it won't do so on the other side at the same time. If I press down on that, it'll pop out of place on the other side, almost certainly. It's very difficult to find positions you can apply pressure to without it feeling like it's going to break. Oh, for crap's sake. Nudged that bit of the light down. That's really annoying. That's probably going to have to be fixed again and again and again. I don't really want to have to trim and sand and fuck things up, but I feel like that's what's going to have to happen because this is never going to sit in place without significant effort. The trouble is it's very hard to see where I need to modify it. You've got so many games you can't think of them all. Nothing wrong with that in my books. Excuse me. What if I... Be nice if I could get the cutter in there to do what I want. That may make things worse. Or it may make things better. A plethora of board games. I haven't played board games for a while. Board games are good though. I think we need to take some off of there at the front. Pedal to the Metal. Is that like a car game? You will still not fit. You cheeky shit. I have to apply a lot of force to get that to sit right, but it looks like it's sitting, or it was a while ago, a moment ago, was sitting right on this side. The trouble is I can't get them both to sit how they should, even with an insane amount of pressure on them. This is really tedious and annoying, and I'm getting sick of it. So, I'm going to end stream. I'll tinker with that through the week, I guess. I was really hoping to get it a lot more close to completion today. Maybe there's something I can read about it on the internet. Surely somebody else has had this problem too. I might be back this evening for some video game times because it is Tuesday. I would normally do a gaming stream on a Tuesday night, but I might not. We'll see how I feel. See how tired I get. There will also be a What's in the Box video later today, sometime. I'm not sure when. Evening. I don't think I'll do a raid. I'm just gonna go offline. Yeah, it is best to end before I throw it across the room, because I might well do that. I'm an angry boy. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I will see you either tonight for more video games or tomorrow night for the other model I'm building. You know the one, because I've forgotten. Tiger, the Vespered Tiger. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Toodaloo.